Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. So I wanted to give you an update on everything that's going on in my business, and maybe you guys can learn something from it and kind of understand the struggles that I'm going through. So right now I have 3 active deals, about to be 4 today. I started off with a property that I had listed. It's an equitable interest listing, which basically means I'm listing the contract on the MLS, and you just got to find a broker that's willing to do that. But I finally got everything ratified with the seller and the buyer. So because of the state that I'm in my state in Maryland, I can actually do what's called a division of proceeds that basically says, hey, I'm selling the property on behalf of the seller. He's going to get anything at, let's just say 100,000, and anything over gets to be in my pocket. And so you're able to connect the buyer and the seller directly that way. That way you can do like a lending on the property, because typically financing with a wholesale deal on an assignment, lenders don't like to lend on that. And so I had to find a way around, and I was working with the realtor to figure that out for that state that I'm in. And we were able to do that. And so basically all I had to do is set up a gross invoice, meaning the amount that I'm going to make is on an invoice. The seller has to sign off on it. Of course, it's going to be a gross invoice, which means it's not going to be 100% accurate until closing, so we can factor in closing costs, commissions, and things like that. Because it was going to be a $15K deal, but then I'm going to be paying 5.5% in closing costs and commissions combined. So after all that's said and done, it's going to be around $6,000 to $7,000. So I sent him an invoice for $7,000. I explained everything that's going on, being transparent with the seller. He was on board. He's been extremely easy to work with, and that's helped out tremendously on this deal, and just building that relationship with them and kind of understanding their pain points, so that way you can make it so that's to their advantage, and just kind of condition the seller to know, hey, we're working on your behalf, and this will help us do that a lot faster. So that's deal number 1. Deal number 2 is here locally. I'm actually doing the same exact thing. I had a property that I didn't list on the market, but I'm actually going through a financing client or a buyer. So somebody's going to be doing traditional lending on the property, and it's so far going well. We're just waiting on the appraisal. So once the appraisal comes back, we'll be able to find out whether or not this deal is going to go through. But we've already negotiated a price that works for both of us, and the buyer's happy. We're just waiting on that appraisal for the lender. And deal number 3, I just signed this past week, and it was a deal that the seller is asking $120 for the property, and I offered him $70,000, and he accepted. So I was going to try to sell it for around $99,000, and I've gotten a ton of interest on this property already, and I don't even have any photos of the property. The only issue that I'm running into is the seller. He's being very sketchy. I think he's an elderly gentleman, but basically he has taxes owed on the property, and he doesn't want to pay them, and he wants to sell it before they're due. So and he's just not answering my calls. He's very sporadic on his responses, and he constantly asks me what title company we're using, even though I've already told him. He's saying he's getting nervous. I tell him, hey, everything's going as fast as you let us, and we're just trying to do our due diligence, because he's telling us it's renting for X, and my buyers have questioned that amount. So we asked for the lease, or something just says, hey, you're getting paid $1,300 a month for this property, and he has yet to provide that. And he says this because he doesn't have any kind of technical equipment, or he's not very savvy with electronics, and I get that. So we're just trying to work with them, but man, he just doesn't answer the phone. I got people lined up who want to see the property, and it's really hard to get him over there because he doesn't drive either. So, and he's just it's really sketchy. You have those buyers those sellers who work with you to try to get things done. And this guy keeps trying to tell me he's got other people interested at 20 grand higher, and he changed it to 30 grand higher this last time I talked to him. So I think he's just nervous, and he keeps telling me these people are gonna buy it from him. So I'm just like, hey, we're just doing our part, and we can only go as fast as you let us. So we'll see what happens. But if everything works out, it's gonna be a little less than 50 grand in wholesale fees, and it would be really, it'd be really nice birthday month for me, because my birthday is coming up, so definitely would be a good thing. So that's an update on what's going on for me. Oh, I forgot the fourth deal, and this was pretty cool. A couple months ago, maybe a little bit before the New Year's, I had a property that was listed on the market, and it was actually a probate lead that came to me, and a realtor had listed their property. She called me and said, hey, I have a realtor who's listed it, and I got the information from her directly, and then I made the offer to the realtor, and at the time he said, no, that's too low, we won't even consider it. And they were asking $188,000, and I offered $100,000. So I got a text message that said, hey, did you ever get in contact with the realtor? And I said, yeah, he didn't accept our offer. She goes, what's the offer? And I said, well, we were at $100,000 cash. And she said, okay, I'll let him know, and he'll call you. And so sure enough, he came back and said, yeah, we'll take the 100. And I was like, shit, I should have offered less. So we got that, and based off of my numbers, if they're right, my max allowable offer should have been 119, and so I'm going to try to sell it for that. I might even try to sell it for 129 and see what happens, and it's going to be a flip for somebody. So, and if I get an offer anywhere from 100 to 129, it's still a good day. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I'd share that with you because it's almost 88 grand less than what they were asking, and they accepted it out of the blue. And then he was asking to close in 30 days, $1,000 deposit non-refundable it was refundable with a 10-day inspection period, and it was to be held by the broker. And so I negotiated him 60-day closing, $500 deposit, and I got 30 days inspection just because I asked. I was expecting him to negotiate me back, but these guys must be extremely motivated because they didn't counter at all. So it just goes to show you, if you never try, you'll never know, and it doesn't hurt to ask. And I was very polite in my email. I said, would your client be willing to listen to our requests, as far as these options? And sure enough, they were fine with it. Anyways, I hope that provided some value to you today. I just want to be transparent with you and what's going on in my life, because I am encountering problems just like you guys, and I'm doing a lot on my own. I even have a VA right now who's phenomenal on the phone. She's great, but right now the problem I'm having is she's not very accountable as far as her hours, meaning she's not clocking in when she's supposed to, and she's just unreliable, I should say, because today and several other days in the past, it's not like a lot, but it's frequent enough to cause a problem where she just doesn't show up, doesn't respond, doesn't do anything for a whole day, and she'll come back to me and say either she slept in, or because it is like midnight over there, she slept in, or she'll tell me that she wasn't feeling well, or she had a blackout wherever, the power is gone for the whole night or whatever. So multiple times I told her, hey, that's we don't appreciate that. I said, you just need to be communicative with us. We don't care if you need to take the day off, you just need to let us know so we can account for it. And time after time she's just failed to do that. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I've posted the job posting several times and I haven't got any other interest from VA. So until I get a new VA, I kind of got to deal with it, unless I want to take on all the seller leads right now. And like I said, she's phenomenal on the phone, and she's got me several contracts so far, and I've only paid her like $600 because I'm paying her $350 an hour. Actually, I think it's like $325 an hour. So the value that she brings is incredible, but at the same time, missing out one day or so, it kind of sucks. It's not impacting my business a whole lot because I'm not doing a lot of volume right now, but I definitely couldn't have that down the road. And until I get somebody who's either trained up like she is, or just a replacement in general, I can't afford to lose her, because I don't want to take on the responsibility myself, especially when she's almost as good as myself in talking to sellers. Of course she's got some things she's got to work on, but she's a natural, and like I said, she just brings a lot to the plate. I don't want to say I'm stuck. It's more that I choose to keep her rather than to fire her, and I just continue to let her know, like, hey, this is kind of upsetting us, not upsetting us, but it's just like it's screwing us over kind of deal. So maybe she feels like she's not getting paid too much, but I tell her keep open communication, we're a team and everything. So I think I'm doing everything that I can to make this work for her and for us. I think it's just, she sometimes just wants to take a couple days off, so I don't blame her. I hated being an employee, so. Anyways, that's what's going on with my life, my business, and I started a garden in my backyard. Well, I should say a pot garden, not a pot garden, but a garden inside pots. I started a garden inside pots, and with vegetables and fruits and stuff. So I just started that. Don't know anything about gardening, and I'm really excited to see what happens in the fruits and vegetables that we get to eat them. So anyways, that's it for me. I'll keep you updated in the future on what's going on. And this was too long to post as a story, so I wanted to post it on here exclusively on Instagram. If you haven't already, if you find any value in what I'm talking about, please give me a follow on Instagram. You can also check out my YouTube in my bio. I'm making a lot of changes. I actually changed my channel name to Wholesaling to Freedom. I think that's just more appropriate for what I'm aiming to do on YouTube. That's going to be more wholesale driven, and I think you guys will find a lot of value from it because it's a lot of free content that I've paid over $35,000 to learn and over $100,000 in mistakes. And I think you guys will gain a lot of insight from it. I've gotten a lot of feedback, positive feedback about it. You guys are picking up on some of the tips I'm giving you and making things happen, and I'm just giving the tools. I'm not taking credit for any of their success. It's one thing to be told something, but it's another to take action on it and actually make it come to fruition. And so for those who've taken action and seen results, I applaud you. You're the reason why I continue to do this, and I love to hear about your all success stories. So keep it up. I'll see you in the next one.